This conference will now be recorded.
Once again, very good morning, all, and thanks for joining. Last session we discussed about what is SQL Server architecture, how many layers are available, how we are going to authenticate to the SQL Server. That is what we covered. And today we are going to discuss about how data is storing in SQL Server. Okay, let's first discuss how the data is storing in SQL Server. Later on, how data will move into the SQL Server. Yesterday we discussed about how the data we are trying to read. So whenever we are getting the bank statements or credit card statements or bill, any bill, electricity bill, anything. Okay, whenever you are trying to read how the data is performing in the backend. Yesterday session we discussed. Today we'll see how the data uh, firstly storing in SQL Server. That is very important. So first we'll see how the data is storing in SQL Server. In time being, okay, time permits, we'll also discuss how the data movement is happening in the backend. That is also very important concept, and we'll see core internal parts, a couple of concepts like a dirty page, checkpoint, clean page, lazy writer, along with asset properties. If time permits today, otherwise we'll discuss it by the tomorrow session. Now, so when you specially go to the storage part, yesterday we discussed, okay, storage engine, where you will have the access method, buffer manager, buffer pool, data cache, plan cache, log cache. So we'll discuss about lot of caches, right? So same, let's discuss about the first storage. Okay, when you go to the storage, so everyone is having one small question: how the data is storing in SQL Server, in which format data is storing in SQL Server. That is very very important. So first, let's, instead of going to the slides, let's go here. Okay, so in a simple lay terms, you, whatever the data you are trying to insert. So for example, you purchased one SIM card. Okay, you opened one bank statement, you open one credit card. Okay, so what kind of information is storing? So your name, your first name, your middle name, your last name, your mobile number, your alternate number, okay, your address, your credit card number or your account number, your address proof, everything is going to store somewhere, right? Yes or no? And nowadays Aadhaar card is also very mandatory if we are in India. So somewhere we need to store all this information, right, related to your. So when you try to perform anything in the SQL Server, your data will be stored in the form of pages. A simple answer. So whatever you are trying to perform into the database, your data will be stored in the form of pages. So for example, if you open the Word document, being MS Office is also Microsoft product, okay? So if you open the Word document, when you open the Word document, so here everyone, okay, so when you double click on here, you will see the header portion, you will see the footer portion, and you will see the actual body. Correct? Yes or no? Like same, your data is also storing in the form of page. Assume this is acting as a page. Okay, your page contains header, your page contains footer, and your page contains actual body. Your page contains actual body. So in SQL Server, our data is storing in the form of pages. So for example, your data is storing one LE, okay, 10,000, okay, your mobile number 9676, okay, and your email address ali@gmail.com. So your data is storing in this format in the page. Your data is storing, so to, okay, to 15,000, okay, at gmail.com. So three, so this is how your data is storing. So whatever you are trying to insert the data, so whenever you are inserting the data, you are updating the data, you are deleting the data. So how the data is storing in the form of pages. That page you should call it as a data page. Data page. The size of 8 kilobytes. One data page size is 8 KB. One data page size is 8 KB. So finally, your data is storing in the data pages. Your data is storing in the data pages. Clear everyone? So 8 KB. So 90 bytes, 96 bytes will be your header session. 2 bytes will be footer session, and remaining 8032 bytes will be your body session, means data session. So when you open page architecture, if someone is asking what is the page architecture, so you should tell in SQL Server data is storing in the page. In SQL Server, data is storing in the form of pages. Each page size is 8 KB. Okay, it contains header session, footer session, and data row session. In header session, it will store up to 96 bytes. What kind of information it will store in the header? So, what is the page ID? Okay, page type along with object ID. Okay, slots. So, all that information very important. So, here it will store page ID. Okay, object id, which object id, free space, okay, user space, next page, previous page, along with the slot. Very important is slot. Very important is slot is nothing but how many slots are available. For example, you are seeing the five slots means five rows are available. If you see the 10 means 10 rows are available. If 20 means 20 rows are available. Means 20 records are available. So slots are very important. So your header session contains page ID, object ID, free space, allocated space, slots, next page, previous page, along with lots of other information. Your header session. Your header session. Your footer session will contains the row offset. Row offset. Nothing but whenever you are trying to insert or update or delete, SQL Server will enter from here and it contains the row ID information. Row ID information. Footer. Your footer contains, okay, row ID information. Apart from nothing, sir. But header is very important for us where it contains lots of historical related to this page. And your data will be residing in the body. Your data is residing in the body. Clear? If someone is asking how data is residing in SQL Server, our answer should be in SQL Server. Basically, data is storing in the form of pages. Each page size is 8 KB. Coming to page architecture, okay, it contains page header, page footer, and data rows. Page header contains 96 bytes, which stores page ID, object ID, next page, previous page, free space, allocated space, and slots. Slots are very important, and page footer contains row offset which contains all the row id information, and actually body contains means data rows contains in the body session, like how you will see in the word document, same how it is designed. Questions, sir? Everyone, hope you understand everyone, or still any doubts? It's very easy concept, okay, don't make more complex. In SQL Server your data is storing in the pages, that's it.
Sir, what is row offset, sir? Please, once again.
Okay, technically we are calling as a row offset, means every row entry will be from the footer. Means for example you are performing insert, so that insert from
Okay.
where it is entering into the body session means from the footer. This row offset will maintain the row ID information, apart from nothing, sir. Row ID information, see. Row offset is nothing but row information.
Oh,
Can I increase the database size? No. Okay. So we can't increase the database. Its size will be 8 KB only. Clear, everyone?
if page is full, it will store to next page, right, sir?
Next page, sir. Yeah, next page. When once the page got completely allocated, it will create one more page and it starts storing in that page. Sometimes even you will see the page splits. We will discuss all these concepts. I will also show you what is available in the page. We'll go for deeper and deeper in the coming sessions. No worries at all.
Oh,
Means we'll see
okay,
this page practically.
okay.
This as of now, just okay. Make a note. Okay, in SQL Server, data is storing in the form of pages. Data is storing in the form of pages. So that page you are calling as a okay database where actual data is storing. Means our data is storing. Actual data will be stored in the data pages. So whatever you are see when for example you are working in mobile projects, Airtel or Geo, you will see the database and that database contains lot of tables. Okay, we'll see that concepts. I hope you understand, everyone.
Okay, sir.
Now, okay, on on top of this, okay, one of the most important interview question, okay, everyone try to remember this one, very important. Next one is also very important. On top of this, okay, so Microsoft came up with a concept called extents. Most of the people will confuse here itself. Don't get confused, sir. Your data is storing in the form of pages. Everyone clear first part? Which page? Data page. Which page? Data page. Now, then what is extend? Means Microsoft came up with the concept called extents. Microsoft came up with the concept called extents. Means so. Firstly, we'll discuss what is extend. Extend is nothing but eight consecutive continuous data pages. Will call it as a one extend. Data page will call it as a one extend. Means eight data pages. Will call it as one extend. Eight data pages. Will call it as a one extend. What is that? Okay, so eight data pages you should call it as a one extend. Eight data pages you should call it as a one extend. What is the size of the extents are then? Each page is 8 KB, right? So 8 into 8, 64 kilobytes. So directly instead of directly creating the data pages, Microsoft is allocating the data pages with the form of extents on top of on top of actually what data is storing in the data pages only, but don't get confused. Then what is the extent? The allocation, sir. Means whenever you are creating a table, so for example I am creating a table called employee table. So to this employee table it will allocate one extent, not data page. What in that extent, what is available? Database only, sir. One extent is eight continuous data pages. We'll call it as a one extent. So data pages contains the extents only, but allocation, how the pages are allocating in the form of extents. In the form of extents. That is how your understanding should be. How that pages are allocating. Who is allocating? Extents. In the form of extents you are getting. But extents contains pages only. How many pages? Eight data pages. We'll call it as a one extent. Hope you are getting, everyone.
Getting, sir.
So if not, I will repeat. Okay, just you should understand little bit clearly. So for example, this is your data page. Okay, now I am creating one table. So Microsoft won't directly create the data page. So Microsoft first allocate one extent to the to this table, employee table. What is that extent? Extent is containing data pages only. How many data pages? 8 data pages. 8 data pages. What is the size of extent? 64 kilobytes, because each page is 8 KB. Total 8 data pages, right? 8 into 8, 64 kilobytes. So your data is storing in the data pages, undoubtedly, but allocation in the form of extents, not in the form of direct data page, not in the form of direct data pages. Your allocation is performing via extents. So you will get definitely a question, what is extent? So if someone is asking what is extent, 8 consecutive continuous data pages, will call it as a one extent. One extent, the size of extent is 64 kilobytes. Means 8 continuous data pages, will call it as a extent, and we'll call it as a 64 kilobytes the size will be. And we are having two types of extents. One is uniform extents, uniform extent, one is mixed extents. Two type of extents. What is that uniform extents? What is mixed extents? So for example, these are the 8 pages, and these are the 8 pages. 8 pages. If 8 pages contains single object data, if 8 pages contains only one table information or one index information, then you should call it as a uniform extents. So for example, all these pages contains only employee related data, then you should call it as a uniform extents. But for example, this mixed extent means, for example, this 4 pages contains employee data, this 2 pages contains the department data, then this 2 pages contains the sales data, then you should call it as a mixed extents. Then you should call it as a mixed extent. Means if 8 pages contains single object data, then you should call it as a uniform extent. If 8 pages contains different object data, then you should call it as a mixed extents. Hope you are understanding. So your allocation, bear with me for tomorrow also, you will get more doubts can be clarified by tomorrow. Okay, so whenever you are performing anything, SQL Server get one extent, get one extent. Where it is getting, that is also we are going to discuss. It will get one extent. That extent contains 8 data pages. If that 8 data pages contains single object data, then you should call it as a uniform extent. If that 8 data pages contains different object data, then you should call it as a mixed extents. Clear? Not clear? See, sir. If you see single object data, if you see single object data, then you should call it as a uniform extents. If you see the multiple object related data, then you should call it as a mixed extents. Mixed extent. So what is the extent? Extent is nothing but continuous 8 data pages. We'll call it as a one extents, and we are having two types of extents. One is uniform, one is mixed. Under uniform, if 8 pages contains single object data, then we'll call it as a uniform. If 8 pages contains different object data, then we'll call it as a mixed extents. And one of the most important interview question: database architecture and extents. Definitely, sir. Questions? No questions? Okay, then. Okay, so coming to pages, okay, coming to pages, okay, so we are having different type of pages in SQL Server. Like almost we are having 10 types of pages are available. So we are having 10 types of pages are available. One is database, we already discussed, which stores actual data. One is GAM page, global allocation map. One is SGAM, shared global allocation map. One is PFS, one is differential map, bulk change map, index allocation map, boot page, text page, and image page. So almost we are having 10 pages. Almost we are having 10 pages in SQL Server. Out of this, okay, this is very important page where your actual data is storing, where your actual data is storing. Rest of everything, the metadata, okay, all that stuff can be stored. We'll discuss one by one. So we mustn't should know about all these concepts. Okay, so first thing is database where your actual data is residing. Okay, let's discuss these two pages now. GAM, SGAM. Okay, now sir, try to understand the logic first. Logic is very important here. So for example, you are creating a table. Create table employee. Okay, employee ID integer, comma, employee name varchar. Okay, varchar 50, comma, employee salary integer. Okay, so you are creating one table. So as I just now I told you, okay, when you are creating a table, when you are inserting the data, when you are inserting the data, when you are performing certain action, you need pages, correct? Yes or no? You need pages, right? Otherwise, where you can insert this table information. So how the allocation is performing in the backend means, so when while you are creating a table, while you are inserting the data, while you are creating the table, while you are inserting, insert, okay, into table, table name, okay, values, and you are inserting one le, okay, 10,000. You are inserting the data. When you are creating a table, when you are inserting the data, so you need to store some, you are trying to store some information into the database, information into the database, database. So so what SQL is, what is happening in the back end when you are performing this operation means, so first it will go to the respect to database, it will go to the respect to database, and it will get one extents, one extent. So for example, not, I mean to say not one extensor, it will get couple of extents. It will get couple of extents. For your understanding, it is getting one extents or two extents. For example, it is getting, try to get the two extents. From where it is getting this extents? From the database. Okay, I can agree. Within the database, how the extent is allocating to this table? Who is allocating extent to this table? Who is allocating this extent to this table? GAM page. GAM page. Okay, GAM page. Who is allocating this extent to this table? When you are simply, sir, we won't go every day and try to look into all this stuff. This is for general knowledge purpose. What is happening internally? Again, we never dig. Okay, throughout in our journey. This is for generic knowledge. You need to have a little bit idea what is happening in the backend. So whenever you are trying to create a table, whenever you are trying to insert the data, okay, first what it will do, you need something, right? So where it will get? From the GAM page, from the GAM page. So it will talk to the GAM page and it will get couple of extents and will be allocated to this operation. Either it can be whatever, sir. So first it will go to the GAM page, talk to the GAM, get the extents information and allocate to this operation. That is what happening in the back end, sir. Either you are performing whatever, okay, it will get the extents from the GAM page. So who is allocating extents? GAM page is allocating extents for your operation. So GAM page contains, okay, approximately 64,000 extents information info. 64,000 extents, and each GAM page size is 4 GB. Now, okay, Subbu, I can agree. But when I go to this database, so for example, if I go to this database, what is the size of the database? 16 MB. You are telling that GAM page size is 4 GB. A database size is itself is 16 MB. Then how I can believe the GAM page size is 4 GB? Correct? Yes or no? Sir, it is
Yes,
not a
sir.
fixed. It is not a fixed. So your GAM page can allocate one GAM page. One GAM page can allocate 64,000 extents to you. Means it is keep on growing like a notepad, like a Word document. So whenever you create a notepad, so for example, this is notepad, the size of 13 KB. But when you try to, so for example, if I'm copying same thing, okay, and I'm trying to insert, I'm trying to, so and save it. Okay, now see the size of, what is the size? Come on, why it's not copied? Okay, let me copy this one. Let me insert. Let me copy this one. Let me insert. Okay, let me save it. Now see the size. Come on here. The size is not increasing. Refresh. What is the size? Yeah. Are you able to see the size is increased? 736 kilobytes. Earlier the size is 13 uh, kilobytes. Now it is 736 kilobytes. Are you able to see,
Yes,
everyone?
sir. Yes,
So
sir.
how, whenever you are loading, so the sizes keep on increasing. So like same, so when you are trying to create and when you are trying to load, it will grow up to 4 GB. It will contain 64,000 extents information. I hope you understand now how the Word document is working, how the Notepad is working, how the Excel is working. Like GAM page is also working same, sir. On once you create on suddenly your GAM page size is not 4 GB. It will grow up to 4 GB, and it will contain 64,000 external information. So for example, you are creating this table, and for this table 10 extents need to be required. So it will allocate this 10 extents from this GAM page to this table. Now out of 64,000, 10 extents has been utilized by some other object. Now we are having 63,990 extents. You created one more table. You created one more table. You created one more table. You are inserting. You are update. So whenever you are performing, the extents has been allocating. Keep on. It will allocate up to zero. Means up to one. So once this GAM page is completed, it will create one more GAM page. Once this GAM page is completed, again it will create one more GAM page, and it will start allocating again. That is the main purpose of GAM page. So who is allocating the extents? GAM page, sir. I hope you understand now. So that's the reason whenever you see the database size is a little bit low. Okay. So how your notepad, how your Word document is working, right? GAM page is also working same. On suddenly the GAM page size is not 4 GB, sir. When you are performing something, the GAM pages keep on allocating, and it will grow up to 4 GB. It will allocate 64,000 extents to the so on so operation. Hope you understand. So here also same, see, sir. GAM page records what extents has been allocated. Each GAM page covers 64,000 extent information, almost 4 GB. 4 GB. Okay. And for internal purpose, for external, no sir, for internal purpose, if the value is 1, the extent is free. If the value is 0, the extent is allocated. So SQL server is also little bit, need to be little bit idea, right? So it is what SQL is doing. So SQL is also making a note down. Okay, if the extent is 1, is nothing but free. If extent is 0 means it is allocated. All your extents allocation is occurring from the GAM page. Everyone clear? Questions? No? Yes?
I have a question.
Yes.
Actually, the thing is, every time it's global campaign is global campaign is allocating for 64,000 pages for one time. If it is filled once again, it will allocate once again 64,000 pages. Like that, only it will increase.
Yes, sir. Once this GAM page is completely consumed, means 64,000 extents is consumed, it will create one more GAM page.
Okay, it is not like that. If it is 75 percentage consumed and immediately it will take, or no, it will
No,
complete only it
no,
will
sir.
allocate.
Yes, sir. Yes. Again, this is like a core internal to internal. Mostly, we never dig all this stuff in real world in our day-to-day busy lives. Okay, so so basically we never do anything, right? Developers will insert or create alters. They are doing a lot of stuff, correct? So, but how that happening in internally, that is what we wanted to discuss, because we wanted to become somewhat stronger in internal. Means how the data is allocating, who is allocating the extents, okay, how it is allocating, okay, all that stuff we should know. But we are not doing anything basically. Everything will do by developers. You never, means we never create the tables, we never insert the data, nothing. Okay, who will design all this stuff? Developers, application team, testers, they will do lot of stuff. We are just maintaining the databases, but we must and should know about what is happening internally, what is happening internally. So definitely, because these two pages are little bit confused, these two pages are little bit confused. So very rare case you may also get a question, what is the GAM page, what is SGAM page? Someone will definitely ask you, if your interviewer is smarter, otherwise no one will ask. So that's the reason you must and should know about these pages. Okay, all your extents allocation, okay, happen via GAM page. Everyone clear that point? Yes? No?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Now, sir. Now, one more important page, that is nothing but SGAM. 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 So when you go to the SGAM, okay, what is the purpose of GAM page? Okay, for example, it is allocating one extent to the employee table. Employee table. Employee table. It allocated one extent. Okay, it allocated. GAM page is the main purpose of GAM page is allocation. It is just allocating the extents. But who can maintain whether this extent is completely filled with the data or free space, or it contains any free space? Who will maintain? Someone need to maintain, right? Someone need to maintain it. So what is the purpose of GAM page? GAM page will just allocate the extent to the so and so operation. Now someone need to maintain whatever the extents allocated by the GAM page, whether that extent is completely filled with the data or not. Who is maintaining? SGAM will maintain, sir. SGAM will maintain the information. What kind of information? Whatever the extents allocated by the GAM page, whether that extent is completely filled with the data or it having any free space. That information will be maintained by the SGAM. Got it? Yes? No? So
No, sir.
what is
Can you
the
say
main,
again?
yeah, see, what is the purpose of GAM page? So it is allocating the extents. Okay, allocation is okay. We are pretty much good. Now, who will maintain whether whatever the extent is allocated by the GAM page, whether it is filled with the data or it is having free space? Who is maintaining? SGAM will maintain whatever the extents allocated by the GAM page, whether the extent is filled with the data or having free space. Clear? I hope everyone.
Clear, sir.
So SGAM will maintain the information. What sort of information? Whatever the extent is allocated by the GAM page, whether the extent is filled with the data or having any free space. So for example, you inserted 100 records. First page is filled, second page, third page, fourth page, fifth page is filled. Three pages are free. Three pages are free. In this extends, three pages are free. These pages, this extends free space information will be filled in the SGAM. SGAM. So SGAM main purpose of SGAM is okay to maintain the free space information allocation to maintain the free space information which is allocated by the GAM page. Got it, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, so whenever you see the one, SGAM size is also 4 GB, 4 GB, and it also contains 64,000 extents information. Extents information. It's not allocating, sir. It it need to maintain all this extents information. Your SGAM should maintain extends information whether it is completely filled with the data or it is having any free space. Any free space. So it is maintaining the information. SGAM will maintain the information whatever the GAM page is allocated, whether the extent is completely filled with the data or it is having free space. It is having free space. So how it will maintain means it will also maintain with the binary value, bit value, sir. If it is one means okay, if it is one means mixed extent and having free pages. If it is zero means it is completely filled with the data. If it is zero means completely filled with the data. So if it is one means okay, it is having some free space. It is having some free space. That extends having some free space. This extend having free space. If completely filled with the data, it will maintain the zero. If it is maintain the zero for this extent means okay, this extent is completely filled with the data. Informations. All are informations are. Okay, actually what data is storing in the database, you should not confuse. Where your data is storing in the data pages only, not in extents, not in GAM, SGAM, blah blah blah. Information, all are storing informations. So allocation is performing by the GAM page, that whatever the allocation, whether that allocation having free space or not is maintaining by the SGAM page. That's it, sir, for your understanding. If someone is asking what is the difference, definitely most of the people will ask what is the difference between GAM and SGAM. So GAM is allocating. SGAM is maintaining that extends free space information. Apart from nothing else it is doing, sir. Because, sir, you create a table today. That means you are inserting data today? No, right? Maybe after 2 to 3 days you will try to insert the data. So when you are trying to insert the data, first it will go to the GAM page. It will verify any extent is allocated to this table, whether that extent is having free space or not. In case free space, let's go and insert the data into the free pages. If not, let's get the extent from the GAM page and let's insert the data into the GAM page. That's it. A little bit confused, but that is the logics are behind in the backend. So whenever you are in,
Sir, I got confused, sir.
yes,
A little bit calm. Tell me one second, sir. Little.
see, for example, you are inserting the data. Okay. So first it will go to the SGAM page to verify any extents allocated to this table and any extents having free space to this table. So if any extent is allocated, okay, and having free space, let's insert into that free space extents. Correct?
Okay.
So, sir,
Correct.
we won't we are wasting the pages means we are wasting the storage, right? Will you waste the storage? Storage is also we need to purchase, right? So if all the pages has been allocated and there is no extent, now it will go to the GAM page, get the extents and try to insert. It's a round robin way, sir. It's a round robin.
Oh,
Like go to the GAM page, verify. If not, go to the go to the SGAM, verify. If not, go to the GAM page. Let's insert. Let's update the information in the GAM page, SGAM page. So it's a round robin in the back end. That's what yesterday I told you, right? Multiple things are happening in the back end. Front end, we are not worrying. We are just inserting. Means when you go to the bank. So for example, if you go to the bank and you wanted to create one account, means you are inserting your data, right? Yes, you are inserting the data. You already have the, you are already maintaining one account. If once you wanted to update your mobile number, you wanted to update your email address, you wanted to update your address, again you will go to the bank, nearest bank, and you will start updating your data. That time also it will do same thing, sir. First it will go to the SGAM, uh, what are the extents having free space, and updating means, sir, updating means within the same data you are updating. Mostly it won't require any extent, right? Yes or no? For update operation. Because already extent is there, already your data is available, you are updating your record. Mostly it won't need any uh, extents, new extents. Existing extents only you are updating, correct? Insert means it maybe it need, if no pages, it need because you are inserting a record. You are inserting a record, but updating, no, sir. For deleting, no. For deleting, updating, no. Because already extent is created, already what data is available. Within that data, you are deleting or you are updating. So it won't create any new extents for update, for delete. But for insert, for create, definitely. Agree, not agree, sir? Yes or no? Are you there? Sir, for example, this is a page and your record is already available. One Ali 10,000. You want to update 15,000. Will it need any new page, sir, for you? Come on, sir. Yes or no, at least. Everyone. Will it need any new page to update the record?
No, sir.
No. If I wanted to delete this account, will it need any new page? No. For delete, for update, maximum, no, sir. Only for insert because you are trying to load the data. When you are trying to load new data, if no space is available, it need a new page. Correct? When you are loading the data, inserting the data, means whenever you are opening new record, inserting a new record, it definitely required some free space. In case there is no free space, it need one more. So just uh, a, a simple for your understanding, sir. Whenever you are creating or inserting, okay, you need extents. Definitely you need extents. When you are updating, deleting, maximum within that existing extents only, it will try to update and it will try to delete the data. Questions are open to you. If you understand these two, almost rest are very easy only. These three are very important: data pages, GAM page, SGAM page. A little bit confused most of the people, but maximum I tried my best, sir. Okay, so when you are trying to Okay, when you wanted to load something new, it need extents from where it is getting a GAM page. Okay, from the GAM page the extent is allocating. Once you start inserting the data, you inserted only you whatever you inserted that fit for only 5 pages. Remaining 3 pages are free. Who will maintain this information? SGAM will maintain the free space information. It is maintaining information. It is allocating. Who is allocating? GAM page is allocating. SGAM is maintaining the space information. Open to you. Questions? No questions? Online people, are you there? No? Yes?
Yes, sir.
Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, sir. Okay. PFS space. Page free space. Okay. Basically, every database, okay, in header, it will maintain the free space. Free space. Every database. Every database will maintain the free space, respect to free space in that page. So, for example, uh, uh, 7,000 bytes is allocated and 1,000 bytes is completely free till free. So that information will be maintained by the every database. Apart from this, even PFS page is also tracking all the data pages free space information. PFS space. So every page will maintain the free space information. Every page will maintain the free space information in the database. Along with your PFS page will also maintain the all the database information, all the database free space information, how much free space is available, how much free space. For example, for your glitch, see sir, this is the size is allocated. Okay, this is space is available. for, for example, for just for your understanding purpose, how much free space is available? Almost 3 MB out of 16 MB, 3 MB contains the free space. Getting my point? So PFS page will maintain all the data pages free space information. All the data pages free space information. Just space, free space information will be maintained by the PFS page. Your PFS space will maintain the all the free space information by making a percentage. 1 to 50% is full, 51 to 80% full, 81 to 95% full. That is how the percentage it will make it note down. So basically every database will maintain the free space information. Every database will maintain the free space information. Even though Microsoft created one more page, that is nothing but PFS page, that will contains all the database free space information related to object. That object, or for example, employee is your object. So the first page is PFS page. Okay, next page is GAM page. Okay, GAM page. GAM page. The first page will be PFS page. Second page will be GAM page. First, whenever you are creating the table, okay, so first, whenever you are inserting the data, first it will go to the PFS page to verify any pages having free space. Then, if free space is available, then it will start loading the data. Again, then what is the SGAM, sir? Just now we discussed, right? Yeah, SGAM is also available. That SGAM will maintain extends free space information. PFS will maintain database free space information. Means multiple operations are in the backend. You will see same thing only. Whatever SGAM is doing, PFS is also almost same only, right? SGAM will maintain extends free space information. PFS will maintain database free space information. Again, extents is also data pages only, right? Too much of confuse for you and for who are listening. Definitely, we'll see lot of confuse. Correct? But actually, but what is happening? So lot much operation is happening in the back end, sir. If you start digging, we'll see lot of internal process. But okay, whatever we having information, this information too good for you, sir. So Microsoft is maintaining multiple things in the backend. He's maintaining multiple things in the backend for safe side because we are dealing with the data. For us, a little bit confused why he's maintaining in different formats, same info only, right? Same info only. Why is maintaining in different pages, different types? But this is the data. This is the data. We are dealing with the data, sir. So if you go for banking, very critical. Insurance, so critical. Correct? Banking, insurance, so critical project for us. So we should maintain multiple. So that is how Microsoft is maintaining. Hope you are understanding. So that's the reason I told you, no, don't get confused. Your data is storing in the database. Your allocation is occurring from the GAM page, and SGAM, PFS is just maintaining the free space informations. This is extends free space information. This is database free space information. Clear? Yes? No?
Yes, sir. Okay.
No, sir. Sir, differential change map I am not explaining today. I will explain when we are discussing backup session. Very important interview question. Everyone, please make a note down. Okay, when we are discussing backups, I will come up with this page, DCM page, differential change map. Very important interview question. Very important practical as well. Practical as well. Okay, as of now, I'm not discussing anything because it is overloaded to you people. I don't want overload because this is very important. Apart from this, this is generic, sir. This is generic. Whenever you are performing certain operations, this is backend is happening. But this is little bit very important for us. We must and should know in depth. So this I'm going to cover in the backup session. Okay, as of now, no worries. Now BCM. This I will cover in the recovery model, most probably Saturday. Saturday, sir. Saturday we'll start the recovery models at any cost. Okay, so Saturday I will cover about this BCM pace, one of the most important interview question, topmost out of top 10, it will falls. Okay, top 10 definitely it will falls. Out of that, this pace is so important. I will discuss this pace for more time in the recovery model session. Okay, so DCM pace we'll discuss in the backup. BCM pace I will discuss in the recovery model. IAM pace I will discuss in the index when we are discussing indexes. Index is the topmost future, topmost concept where we are going to discuss almost 8 to 10 hours. Only indexes, sir. See how important it is. We are discussing only index concept for 10 hours. Okay, almost means 5 days, 5 sessions. We will discuss only on indexes. That time I will show you practical demo about the IAM page. Make a sense, everyone? Respect to concept, respect to page, I will discuss. Hope that will make so sense, right? If I'm discussing now, again I need to repeat same thing when we are discussing actual concept. So when I'm discussing actual concept, if I explain, you can easily remember, right? Yes, everyone. So IAM page I will discuss in the index concept. BCM page I will discuss in the recovery concept. recovery model concept. DCMPs I will discuss in the backup concept. Three are very, very important. Three are very, very important, either practical, either theoretical. Theoretical, practical, interview, it's so important. Make a sense? Clear, not clear?
Clear, sir.
Okay. And one more, sir, boot page. One more thing is boot page. So, for example, let me, sir, how to check last DBCC. Okay. What is the boot page? Very important, sir. Okay. Every database, sorry, every database. So every database, it contains the boot page. 2010, correct? 2010. So every database contains the boot page, or only one boot page will be available. That too, that will be available in the MDF file, which I'm going to discuss, sir. Only one boot page will be available, which is storing complete metadata related to your database. Complete metadata, sir. What is your DB version, creation, okay, and status, created date, name, ID, okay, compatibility level, and it contains lots of information related to your database. And this command is so important. You mustn't should remember, sir. Okay, why? Because this command will tell you lots of information up. Out of this, one of the most important is, okay, yeah, this is what is the last DBCC check DB good run. Very important concepts are I'm going to cover in the ending. Okay, DBCC check DB will check the database consistency. Means whether your database is corrupted or not. Who can tell you, sir, whether any page got corrupted, record got corrupted, ID got corrupted, index got corrupted, table got corrupted, okay, view got corrupted, or files got corrupted, database got corrupted? Who will tell you this information? DBCC check DB will tell you, sir. If you want to know what is the last successful good run of DBCC CheckDB, you can get by running DBCC info. This is nothing but boot page reading, sir. I am reading the boot page. So last checkpoint, last registrator, last good run, and your DB information will be maintained by the boot page. Maintained by the boot page, sir. So you should remember, boot page will contains metadata information related to complete your database. Metadata. You are not updating anything. SQL will update respect to database. Sorry, every database, every database will contains the boot page, and that boot page will maintain metadata related to that database. Only one boot page will be available. Very important, sir. This command is also very important. Okay, please make a note down somewhere while you are writing. Okay, note down somewhere, notes, right? Please maintain. This is only best DBCS command which will tell you what is the last DBC check DB good run. Okay, how this information you are getting from the boot page, from the boot page. So boot page, only one boot page will be available for every database. Okay, that boot page will contains complete your database metadata information. Metadata information, complete your metadata information, sir. Complete your metadata information. You are not updating anything. SQL Server will update this information. You no need to worry, sir. Getting my point? Sir, we not yet discussed lot many things, okay? You will definitely get confused what are all these things. You will get to know, sir, one by one, one by one. Okay, DBCC check DB, checkpoint, lazy writer, collations, all this we still not yet started. CISA checkpoint, dirty page, okay, DBCC flags, okay, recovery flag, so collations, okay, differential backup lesson chain, rebuild log, okay, it contains lots of information, compatibility, database ID, name, everything, sir. Who is maintaining? A boot page will maintain. Your boot page will maintain. So, out of this, why I mention this one is this command will tell you what is the last good run. DBCC check DB good run will occurs. Okay, and this command will read boot page, sir. This is the boot page. Got you, everyone? So, what is the boot page, sir? Boot page will maintain all the metadata related to respective database. Respective every database will contains the boot page, sir. Every database contains the boot page, and every boot page will maintain that database respect to information. Every database you can change the database name accordingly. So, for example, AD 2017. This database information you will get it, and this respect to information it will maintain. Every database will contain respect to boot page, and it maintains complete your metadata information. Question, sir, and very important this one. Just make a note down when you are watching the session, okay, everyone. And someone may ask you a question: how we can identify what is the last DBCC check DB good run? Then you should tell this command. Only this command will tell you, sir, what is the last good run. Okay, not okay. And text and image based, sir. So whenever whenever you are loading images, whenever you are loading ID proofs into the database, kind of like, for example, I am creating a table, employee table, and in employee table I am mentioning employee image, and data type is LOB. So for example, your data type is LOB. LOB means large object binary. LOB stands for large object binary. So when your table contains images, documents, kind of stuff, all that kind of stuff will be available in these two pages, text and image pages. In the backend, it will use these two pages, sir. Whenever you are whenever you are trying to open the account, they will take your ID proof, right? Definitely, they will take you Aadhaar card or electricity bill, one photo also, right? They need to store somewhere, right? They can't keep simply uh, a copy, right? So they need to save in the database. So while they're saving your images, your test documents or something, in that scenario, these two pages will help in the backend. This this is about different pages in SQL Server, sir. Only three pages we ignore right now today's session. Thus, those three pages will cover in the coming session, sir. Respect to concepts. Open to your questions, sir. Questions? No questions?
So the text
Yes,
and
sir.
image pages is there, na? It's
Yeah.
coming to extend the same way, or it
No,
is
no,
stored
sir.
in
It's
separate.
it's a it's different, sir. Actually, images kind of stuff, right? Okay.
Okay,
So it is a different page. These are different pages where your text related information, document related information, image related information will be stored.
okay.
So when you enable file stream concept, okay, there is a
And one
concept
more,
even in, yeah, yes, sir.
okay, one more question that actually we can see the last shrink file information in anywhere. a database?
Or shrink?
Yes,
No, sir.
you cannot see, no?
Shrink is just releasing.
Yeah, just relation that. Sometimes pop up and we will do release, but which one is in case we not find that one,
No,
suddenly we
no,
forgot and then we search. But log into, I'm not finding that things. Somewhere
no.
they have information.
Couple of things we can't.
No.
Maybe, but we need to research. See, I can't
Mm.
say no directly, but we need to research. The lots are again. If you are going for deeper
Search.
and deeper, you wanted to dig, dig, dig. How
Actually, the
much you
thing
are
is,
digging, that is up to us.
yes, yes. Actually, I'm thinking that event I seen, but once again we write the event, it will be button to this server. Somewhere.
Yeah. Everyone comfortable? No. Yes. What is page? Page architecture, extents, type of extents, different types of pages. A boot page, very important, sir. Boot page that is helping us actually. That's the reason I highlighted. Okay. Everyone is comfortable, then I can go for only one concept, only one simple concept, then I will close this session today. Tomorrow we'll go for actual in-depth concepts, very important concepts tomorrow. Boring, gaining, everyone, gaining the knowledge or boring the concepts.
Gaining time.
Okay. Now, sir. Now, basically, we discuss all that stuff, but we main concept is database. Okay. So basically, once you install the SQL server, okay. So once you install the SQL server, we need to create the database. We need to create the database. Simply, we can't leave, sir. As a core database administrator, once we install the SQL, okay, my job is done. No, sir. You need to create the respective database. So database is nothing but collection of your data which is arranged in the proper organized way in a simple lay terms. In a simple lay terms, database is nothing but collection of the data. A data, sir. That can be raw data, that can be okay, semi data, that can be raw data. Okay. So it is a collection of data which is arranged in the organized way. Which is arranged in the organized way where you can retrieve, where you can see in a simplest. So for example, by seeing this database, okay, this database related to adventure walks, okay, this database related to batch 39, this database related to batch 39 log shipping database, this database related to EC2 instance, this database related to stack overflow 2010 year. So we will give a respective names for every database. By seeing this, you can easily identify, okay, this database related to this type of. But mostly we don't know, sir. Mostly you don't know. As a DBS, we don't know. Who knows everything? Your application team knows because they will tell you to create the database. They will inform you. We will just create the database. Like right click on database, okay, click on new database, and we will mention batch has 40. We'll just create the database. We don't know what kind of data they are going to store, what kind of information they are going to that is up to their, sir. We will create the database, but whenever you got a request from application team, we will go and create the database. Apart from nothing, sir. Later on, your application team, your developers, your testers, they will do lot of stuff in the database. So database is nothing but a collection of data which is arranged in the organized way so that we can retrieve, we can read in a simplest way. Okay. So when you create a database, what is happening means when you create a database, two files will be created by default. By default, two files will be created, sir. By default, two files will be created. So what are the two files, sir? One is MDF file, one is LDF file. So database is nothing but collection of data that is stored, organized. We can manage access data easily. So when you create a database, by default, two files will be created. One is MDF file, one is LDF file. MDF file contains actual data. Your actual data will be stored in the master data file or primary data file or data file. You can call it any name, sir. Master data file, primary data file, okay, and you can also call it as a data file. You can call it as a data file, which stores actual data, which stores actual data, which stores actual data, sir. Your actual data will be stored in the data file, MDF file. Then what about LDF file, Subbu? LDF file contains change related information. All your change related information. What do you mean that change? Tomorrow I'm going to explain, sir. Okay. LDF file will maintain all your change related information. But where actual data is storing? In MDF file, sir. In MDF file. So you can also create .ndf files. You can also go and create .ndf files. NDF. This you should call it as a secondary data file. Sir, for example, you can't keep everything in single file, right? It will impact the performance. So for example, now today your database size is 100 GB. Tomorrow it is 500 GB. Okay, after 1 month it is 1 TB. After 2 months it is 2 TB. After 5 months it is 5 TB. So your databases keep on growing. If you keep 5 TB in single file, it will impact the performance, right? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So in that scenario, to improve the performance, okay, we will create the secondary data files, that is nothing but .ndf files. You can create n number of .ndf files, sir. So and you can move the data to different files as well, like partitions, all that stuff will do. Okay, basically whenever you create any database, only two files will be created. Only two files will be created. One is .mdf file, one is .ldf file. One is .mdf file, one is .ldf file. Two files will be created. Okay, so if you want, you can create n number of secondary files. If you want, you can create n number of secondary files. So data files, secondary files will store actual data. Log file will maintain only change related information. Can I create multiple log files? Yes, sir, but no need. It's a wastage only. I will explain you, sir. Not now, when we are discussing log file troubleshooting, log file architecture. Okay, still the architectures are still pending, sir. Only we discussed SQL engine architecture. Still memory architecture, log file architecture, TempDB architecture. Okay, still lot of architectures are pending. We will discuss those architecture in the advanced level. Okay, we are just discuss only DB engine architectures now. Okay, okay, sir. Clear? Not clear?
Create multiple files. MDF. By
Sir,
default, it will create two files.
only two files, sir. One will be MDF file, one will be. I will show you, sir, because still we not yet done installation, right? Once we install the SQL Server, I will discuss with the practical everything. Again, I will come back all the just till Friday theoretical knowledge, sir. From Saturday we'll go for practical. Okay, theoretical, practical. Because at least you should know some idea before I go to the SQL installation. So Friday we will install the SQL Server. Once we complete the installation, then aram se we can go for the practical, sir. Make a sense, everyone? Yes, no,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
yeah. So what I mean to say is, okay, whenever you create any database, Two files will be created. One is MDF file, one is LDF file. MDF file contains actual data. You can call it as a primary data file. You can call it as a data file. You can call it as a master data file. Whatever name you can, that is up to your wish. Log file will contain change related information. Apart from this, you can create n number of secondary files if you required. Okay, that's it about database. That is about the file. Tomorrow is most critical session, sir, where you are going to learn lot of stuff, lot of interview questions, lot of internal concepts. Okay, that's it, sir. Questions? No questions? If no questions, let me stop the recording.